It's day 3 of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, where all eyes will be on Kamala Harris's vice presidential pick, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. He's set to deliver the keynote address as he formally accepts the vice presidential nomination and makes his introduction on the national stage. Walz has also served as an attack dog against former President Donald Trump and his running mate, J.D. Vance. Joining us live, News 4's Washington correspondent Josh Rultenberg. He's live with us now from inside the arena. Josh, former First Lady Michelle and former President Barack Obama spoke last night. What did they have to say, and how did folks there respond?
Yeah, good evening, Kinsley. So former President Barack Obama and his wife, former First Lady Michelle Obama, once they took that stage, this place absolutely lit up. But I can also say in return, Barack Obama said that he was fired up, and Michelle Obama said that hope is making a comeback. Both of them did their best to lift up Vice President Kamala Harris while also eviscerating former President Donald Trump. You had Barack Obama, who said we've already seen that movie before when it comes to Trump, and the sequel is typically much worse. You had Michelle Obama take an even more personal shot at former President Trump, saying who's going to tell him that the job that he's running for is one of those quote-unquote black jobs. So that's, of course, in reference to a comment that Trump made a couple weeks back when it comes to migrants taking certain jobs. Now, with that said, obviously moving forward here, you're going to hear from Vice President Kamala Harris on Thursday, and the Democrats are simply fired up, waiting for her speech in anticipation. But the Obamas making one thing clear: no matter what happens here in Chicago, it's going to be an uphill battle from now until November 5th.
So today, Governor Tim Walz will finish off the night as the VP candidate on this ticket. What can we expect from his speech, and who else will we hear from today, Josh?
Yeah, you're going to hear a lot about Tim Walz's story from himself. He's going to introduce himself to the national audience here because it was just a month ago that it was President Joe Biden and Kamala Harris running together. Now it's Kamala Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. He's a former football coach, former teacher, former member of the Army National Guard, former member of Congress, and now serving his second term as Minnesota's governor. He's also been, as you've said, an attack dog against former President Trump. He's called him weird, and ultimately you're going to hear more of that tonight. A lot of Tim Walz's story, but he's also going to go after Donald Trump.
Vice President Kamala Harris is set to finish off the convention. What is the feeling ahead of that much anticipated address?
Yeah, it's a much anticipated address. This is the biggest speech of her political career, and so ultimately she's going to talk about her story, and she's going to reintroduce herself to the nation as a San Francisco prosecutor, California Attorney General, U.S. Senator from California, and now the Vice President of the United States. She feels that she is qualified to be the next president, and she feels that she's more qualified than former President Donald Trump.
Josh Rultenberg, that's our time, but thanks for joining us today on News 4.